Let's do some Holy Grail. We don't have enough time for a bunch outside of Holy Grail, honestly. Every item in the game. We don't need to watch no dang Super Bowl. Yeah, my parents are having a party though, and I gotta like take the people to the party. By the people I mean Kylie. Diablo 1 takes what, 20 minutes to finish? I don't actually have Diablo 1 speedrunning experience really. I ran it in like 3 hours one time, but it was a chill run, not like, no dupes or anything. What up, lag? Thank you. Instead, let's have a Super Bowl present to ourselves. Finding a new item. Man, that was a tough one. Like I said, I really think it just started with the lack of experience really hurt us a little bit. That cost us a little time. That's not blaming Waffles at all. One, I mean, that's obviously very difficult. I feel like we give the druid to people who are kind of newer, but then it turns into like a tough spot, you know? Like you have to be the shockwave druid. Everybody's survivability is dependent on you. So yeah, we were lacking experience on a character's perspective, but also just from a player perspective. And then me not getting that Ancient's Pledge, honestly, I probably cost us like a minute and a half just from that. From not being able to successfully teleport. If you have new people, let them play the Assassin. I mean, Assassins are so important early on as well, though. It really is tough, because like every role is very important. You didn't even attempt a shot for one? Yeah, like neither. I had my white shield, but I never socketed it. Because I was thinking we were going to get it in Nightmare for some reason, and then we didn't. And then there was never a point to, you know? There's just so little free time in that run. You're never allowed to sit. You're always duplicating a TP or teleporting as a sorceress especially. Or you gotta be somewhere to be staticking or killing. It's crazy. I just realized I had a dream that I found a jaw rune. A jaw rune and something else. That was a good dream. Gonna update my stream title? I did.
See you in hell.
Yo, Teo! What up? Thanks for the host. Do you play on players 1 or 8 when doing tunnels? I like 1 because I'm trying to kill as many bosses as possible. So that is the main goal of it. Let's get a new item. You dreamt that you delete your barb? Well, that's a horrible dream.
Where can I take you?
That is a horrible dream right there. Am I playing D2 Median? Yeah, I've been playing it. I'll probably do some more stuff with those Ubers. Try some more stuff out. We'll see. People love Diablo too. Can you say? It's a classic. If he wants, I'll do a dual speedrun with him. Just do normal. He can be a assassin. That'd be a good one for start. She died last night, level 92. So players 1 and players 8, the loot does not change for the main boss. It's only going to be changing for the white monsters and the like whatever stuff. Right, the minions, but not actually the boss itself. Why am I away farming if I don't pick up green items? I mean, I know what all the items are, so I pick up the ones that I want. Like, there's no item that's really a mystery to me here. It's like the green ring is only going to be Angelic's ring or Cathan's ring. I don't need those, and they're trash anyways. Do the 3 elementals. You need more Saigons though. Is Azurath's any good? I mean, it's alright. The problem is it doesn't compete with like rune roots that exist now, but it's not a bad sword. They're struggling. Like I said, if he wants to, I will do a 2-man speedrun with him through normal. Probably about an hour and a half or so.
Where can I take you?
I need Griswold's Redemption and Main Song. I also dreamt that I found Mang Song. That's right. My dream had me finding Mang Song and a Jaren. And then I thought I found a Caduceus, but it was actually a different green set item. Where was it in the dream? I don't remember. But I actually found a unique Archon staff in my dream, and I was super excited. Oh wait, I have to update my finds list. We haven't found anything worthy yet today. That was last time. Even in my dream, I can't get the Gris scepter. You know? You got a sign and forgot the place. Wait, what? You got a sign and forgot the place. Oh, of the... yeah, where I found it. Gotcha.
Where can I take you?
Have I died during level 98 yet? Not yet. I've been playing safer at 98. Do you update the odds they get better?
I feel like there are better chances for these items in the maggot lair.
Is that what you feel? I feel like you're wrong. Else in this. There's some war staff. There was not 1981.
Good day.
Yeah, Ancient Tunnels is one of the best areas for farming. Pindle's also solid. Just depends how you want to farm, basically. They're pretty even, actually, when you do the math. Pit is also a great place, but it has cold immunes. It actually has immunities to everything, so it's better for someone who's doing like a Pit Zerker or Poison Necro or a Hammerden. But a light source can run down there, so sometimes I switch into a light source when I do that. Playing this single player, yeah. How long would it take me to reach 99 in Chaos? Probably about 80 hours of non-stop Chaos runs. I haven't shaved yet. I should be shaving in the next couple days. Something like that. Come on. Where is... Nah, average chaos run is like an hour, or a minute 15 to a minute 30, something like that. Players... No shave till new item bound down. No shave till new item. Kylie's like, please no. Come on. Let's go. Oh God. Where is he, man? Awful. Okay. Dude, the eyebrows getting shaved off? Not. They're not getting shaved off. I mean, yeah, it's all for my own enjoyment. I'm trying to collect every item in the game, so. How proud I used to be of my perm. I'm still proud of that perm. It's a great perm. My hair's probably long enough to perm again, actually. We could grow the fro out. We could grow the fro out. $140. Chaos. Seems right. I mean, I do a little bit more on that because I'm trying to like kill bosses in river and stuff. So if I completely ignore all bosses and just go straight seals, it's probably about 120 on a full run.
Good day.
So I freaked out when I found Tito's Might? Yeah. You got fired from your job 2 days ago. What do you do now? Well, you get back on the horse, right? Sorry to hear that, and it does suck. Nice. But I believe in you. It's a scepter. Your town's way better on the farm side for sure with these group spawns. Yeah, they group in a nice, I don't even explore half the tunnels because the other half of the tunnel doesn't spawn anything. So one potential there, usually one right there. We got 2 right here, 1 up there. So just depends how lucky we get on the spawns, and then this one right in here. So these runs are really short. Do I have any hope for D4 being good? I do. I do have some hope for Diablo 4 being good. Yeah.
So to kick off Super Bowl, what do you think about the awards and the no extension for Jason Garrett?
I mean, Mahomes deserved MVP. I hate that he also won OPOY though. Like, they just need to exclude quarterbacks from that. Quarterback is always MVP basically, and then, you know, why do we have another quarterback for offensive? Like, it just ruins it for a lot of running backs and wide receivers. You know, I think that's my thoughts on that. I always hate seeing it as is. Ooh, legendary mallet. Because, like, yeah, of course, quarterbacks are always going to win those awards. I'd see what for design would it for? Oh, for sure. I would always be willing to do that. Drop level. I can't get anything from the chest that I want right here. But it can drop some, like, you know, Maras and things like that, but it's not going to drop any of the items I need. They can't drop from racks or chests. I'm definitely cheering the Rams on just because, you know, hoping somebody else wins.
And Jason Garrett.
And Jason Garrett, I mean, you know, I'm always down for him moving on. The nice thing is he at least seems to keep the locker room together. But I press H on my keyboard to quickly enter for hell. So, you know, he seems to keep the players going and stuff, but obviously he's a little bit of Jerry's pawn. Not very creative, and then, you know, Linehan was an even bigger issue there, but that was a huge thing. Not getting the flashbacks, talking about Garrett. Oh no, different Garrett. Jerry Jones is a Sith Lord, yeah. Something along those lines.
Fresh meat.
Oh, a green C word. Brutal. I can't hit him with my blizzard in that part of the tunnel, it looks like. Anonymous with the gifted sub to Teo. Thank you. Roma finally in a Super Bowl. Yeah, good for him. He is the best caster I've heard in a while. Yeah, it's a little nutty night. Welcome to Diablo 2 odds, man. And that's with all my, like, magic find and everything. What was that? I saw unique in there. But it's okay, we had a dream. I had a dream. Yeah, it's not the worst odds in the game, that's for sure. It's still pretty bad. This is the second rarest item in the game. Third. Tied, roughly. So. That's Death Web. About 1 in 1.5 million, probably. No, higher. 1 in 2 million. It's a 5% chance that it rolls Eth. Like 1 in 2.2 mil, something around there. What's my MF? 678? 679 maybe? I do have an Eth Death Web. So. And the whole time we got it, I was thinking, man, if I just could have used all that luck on my final 2 items instead. Super cool and all, but not what I wanted. But I can't get a stupid 1 in 36,000 item. Killing me, man. The Vegas over-under on how many plays Roman predicts is 7.5. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I feel like you got to predict over on that. What are some of the other fun prop bets they have going for it?
I am overburdened.
They always have stuff. What's the length of the national anthem? Stuff like that. Always correcting it. Dang. I feel like there's not a lot of bosses today. Two legendary mallets already. I believe we determined it's a 1 in 3,600, maybe 1 in, no, it's like 1 in 3,000 chance. No, it's higher than that. 3,400. Like 1 in 3,400 that an Archon staff drops, and a 1 in 3,400 chance that a Caduceus drops. Just as a base item, unknowingly what the roll is. So it should average to about 1 per, 4, 5, 6 hours. That we get one of those items with a chance. Amount of times Giselle is shown. Ooh, what's the over-under there? Like 12, probably. There's my beauty. Oof. Heck no time. This character's been going for about 2.5 years. Something around there. Beautiful. Grimoire. Horntown.
Good day.
Odds for Tony Romo to break his collarbone. Odds for you to get banned. Excuse you. Do I have any max MF charms rolled? Oh yeah, most of my charms are max.
I am overburdened.
Rune Sword. Halberd. Military pick, 3 uniques in 1. Wow. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, Lyric's playing for a little bit. So. Cool. Odds for Tom Brady Game of Thrones talk? What?
Hey, I'm just talking about the reality. Cheeky smiley face. Hashtag Ben. Hashtag collarbone.
Me too. Hashtag ban. Do you think if I took an online course in Python CS, I could get a land a tech job? I mean, potentially. It definitely is going to take a little bit more than that, but that's a great place to start. Oh, GOAT. I mean, that's guaranteed to happen. That's going to be one of the first things they say. And what happens if they win here? And will Tom Brady is there any further discussion about is he the GOAT? Like,
Not here.
Nokazen.
Yes.
You know that's gonna be the first thing they say. Trash, trash, trash. 27 strength, 8 to life. Okay. You think Peyton's the GOAT? I think Brady's better than Peyton. Tom probably is. But it's kind of, you know, he also has Belichick with him, and that's definitely, like, the best coach that's existed, I would say. So it's hard to, you know, how much can you chalk up to Tom versus how much do you give, you know, the combination, definitely. But there's always some combination whenever you look at these greats, you know. It's just this time it's less of a player and more, and it's a coach instead.
Take you.
Because, like, who else on the Patriots can you really be like, yeah, you know, that was Jordan's Pippen, right? Who is Brady's Pippen? He doesn't have one, really. He's cycled through every player basically there. But Belichick is his Pippen, essentially. So. Brady versus Lou and QB through it. 60% versus 6.5. Once again, Brady is great, but like him throwing 2 interceptions and then being able to win, I think falls more once again on defense, on coaching.
Tom
on that
Brady
stuff
is
than
the
him.
best leader. Peyton Manning is the best QB.
I guess you could say
And
Gronkowski.
of course, Cowboys
That's
are the
true.
best missing the title games.
Fresh
Banned.
meat.
So banned. Thank you, Fuppy. Thank you, Skew. I think Gronkowski's probably the closest you get to it. But even then, I feel like he's good, but he's replaceable, you know? Like, he definitely has done his fair share of... He's a solid tight end. One of the best tight ends in the league. But... I don't know. I feel like Belichick would count way more in that sort of regard.
Where can I take you?
Pippen was the go? Oh, okay.
I can't.
Mind Ma. Alright. Let's get out of those tight corridors there. Way too much danger.
I am overburdened.
Try being a Dolphins fan? Oh, there would be nothing worse than having to exist in the same division as Tom Brady. That just sounds like the worst nightmare ever.
Good day.
Dolphins have fans? Rip.
Hello.
Brutal. Yeah, I know. Dolphins fan would be pretty hard. I mean, at least you don't have to be a fan of, like, the Jets or something. But it's not like a huge step up, but it is a step up. I lost company pool bet and punishment is your Dolphins fan and a Bucks fan. Yeah, Bills haven't had it great either, man. They kind of, like, every time the Bills look like they're maybe starting to pull something together, they're like, wait, no, we're the Bills. Just kidding. Like, at least the Dolphins had the Miami Miracle this year. Not that it did anything to prevent the Patriots from going to the Super Bowl, but, you know, it's still cool. Could be a Saints fan. I mean, it's like being a Cowboys fan during the death sketch. I know how it feels. Another green C word.
Good day.
That's right, Dave. But yeah, the Saints thing was pretty, like, you have to get over it. It's a game, whatever. But you know, it definitely is. You sit there and go, feels like there's some rigging going on in the NFL when you watch that. To me, it's really hard to sit there and claim that's honest mistake, missed call. Just the timing and importance and everything of it. Like, refs, everybody knows if that gets called, the game is over. You know. So like other stuff, you know, whatever. They're gonna call stuff however. But I feel like at the end of the game, they know that if that's called, that game is over. So. And that's kind of the crappy part about football, is it's very easily riggable because penalties have so much weight.
NFL games are rigged to make conspiracy theorists more paranoid so that big aluminum can sell more aluminum foil.
That's exactly it. And you can bet I got a bunch of my money tied up in aluminum foil stocks. Still need the 2 items listed there in the bottom left. But, you know, that's the part that really sucks about the NFL. Like, most other sports, it's quite difficult to truly rig, I feel like. I mean, soccer, penalty kick is really the only way you're rigging a game. Sadly. You can rig baseball with some, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
The first time I watched an NFL game from start to finish, it was a very long one. With overtime, Peyton was the QB, and in the last drive, he threw a.
Gosh, son of a gun. Awful. Just awful. But yeah, I mean, like, the problem is you can sit there and say baseball's riggable or things like that. And, like, sure, there are moments with it. But in the end, like, in football, you can literally call a penalty whenever you want. Because every single play has a penalty. You know? Noah Sedler. So that's kind of the big issue there, in my opinion. Oh god, we're out of space for Jules. I guess go to 90 and start there. You know, so there is literally like no good way. Oops. You know, in some sports, you gotta try and finagle it here and there. But in football, like, whenever you want, you just call the penalty. And it's like, yep, well, can always just call it. Whereas in baseball, the dude cranks the home run. Like, he cranks a home run on you. And it's just... Yeah, there's literally holding on every play. There's so many rules, and so much of it is subjective there, that you can always be like, well, He roughed the passer by touching him. He held him. There was holding, there was pass interference, there was whatever. Like, you can always call any of those. And yeah, you can say balls and strikes, but once again, like, that's not as big of a deal, in my opinion, as
Sports rigging is just a distraction
a
from
holding
the real
penalty
issues.
to kill a drive, you know?
Like the fact that
Or
nacho
extend
cheese
it.
from 7-Eleven contains no cheese.
No cheese.
Yes?
I'm not saying it's 100% rigged. I'm just saying it has the potential to, because, yeah, you can call a ball or a strike a little bit, you know, close to the zone. But, like, the weight of that versus the weight of a holding penalty or a pass interference on 3rd and 20 to extend the drive is just insane. And you can always call those. So,
Where can I take
just,
you?
you know, stuff like that. You like to think stuff isn't rigged, people are just bad at their jobs. See, I like to think that as well. But, you know, I do think that the New Orleans one brings into question the NFL going, we just moved this team to LA and our, you know, all the statistics we've run show we would make an extra $100 million if the Super Bowl, you know, had an LA team in it as opposed to a New Orleans team in it. You know, you don't think there's a potential talk of, hey, maybe we want the Rams to win?
Good day.
If there's a, you know, if it's a blowout, like, forget about it. But if there's a way, then why are there still teams in Dallas? Because the Cowboys are the most profitable team in the NFL. So, suck on that. No, I don't use JSP. Light-plated booties?
I am overburdened.
Here is my #1 argument against conspiracies. It
Sure.
is almost impossible to get more than one person focused and working effectively on even simple tasks. Now try that on a huge scale and in secret #BigLuminum.
That's a good point. Which is why I think you got to keep it small. But, like, it's happened before. It happened in the NBA. You know? So.
Good day.
It's not like it hasn't happened in a professional sport before. You're glad you're in California where all the riggings go in your favor? Yeah, that's the thing. If you want stuff rigged in your favor, just live in the big market. Anything dealing with enough money can be corrupted. It's the truth.
Your presence honors
Sports, governments, whatever. Corporations, people.
I can't carry
That
it.
is true. Streams, yeah. You give me $1 million to play Fortnite, I'll go play Fortnite. You know?
I keep losing it slots. I bet it's rigged. Hashtag El Llama in league with NFL.
That's right. Would I do it for 10K? No. You do that for $100? Teo. Oh my god. Sell out. I'm just kidding. We're all sellouts. We just have different prices. Teo's cheap. Shoot, I might pay you $100 to go play Fortnite. Just to give me more time on those records. Seems like a fair deal to me. Fortnite's free to play. Mastermind strategy, that's right.
Presence honors me.
That is right. Yeah, go have fun with RE2. That's right, Settler. Dang, I hope you called him out for that. Well, this is like to become a Fortnite full-time streamer. That's why I'm $1 million. Another unique Yami.
Good day.
I would sell out all the time. Shabam! Oh my god. It's all that I find. It's all that I find. Look at this. 20, 20, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 23, 24, 25, 29, 30, 30. Oh my god. I drop Mara's like Dobrunsky drops Jarins. It's disgusting. Did I type 25? Oh, thank you. 24%. Mara has a crush on you and Valentine's Day is coming up? Uh-oh, don't tell Kylie. Go finish some work before Super Bowl. Have fun.
I'm overburdened.
I think I found a Rowrun before and I left it on the ground. I want to pick up Rowruns. Archon stash, are you dropping any run now? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Plugate's not gonna show it.
Yes.
I'm ready for my caddy. And for it to be green. I'm ready for it. Let's do a speed run. There's just not enough time right now because I have to go to a Super Bowl party in like an hour and a half.
Good day.
Let's do some Pendle.
Fresh meat.
You'll get it today.
I hope so. I sure hope so. Actually, let's do it this way. And you can swap out there. Thank you, Edward. Mwah. Where did I put that ring that I use? Oh, wait, I just use this. Put that like that. And 874 MF. That seems right. Is the Super Bowl today? Yeah. I forgot when the Super Bowl was. Eat lots of wings. I hope there's wings. Put the ID tome in the cube. The problem is you can't use it from the cube. So you have to take it out and it's a whole to-do. It's really annoying. Hot sauce? I'll bring the hot sauce. No one outside the US cares about the Super Bowl? Probably true. Oops. What are you going back to school for, Camel? Are you getting your master's? You forgot your own birthday this year? Camel, alright, we need to have a problem. We need to have a chat. How'd the 8-man go? We just we're slightly under world record, or over, I guess, so just missed it. Honestly, for, you know, how it was, I would say it wasn't a horrible finish, but we were missing a lot of experience, both in our characters, but also just on the people playing. So that just led us to some slowdowns. You can actually use your TP and ID tomes in the cube, but you cannot open your cube. Yeah. Finishing your bachelor's in cloud system administration. Nice. 5 years or something are going to be out of the job mostly. Yeah, it's all going to be cloud. I don't think in 5 years most are going to be out of the job. Like, a lot of companies still are very heavy in their servers, even though a lot of stuff is moving to the cloud. Like my company, a lot of companies are constantly, best time to Hadoop right in. God. You know. So I think there's going to be, it'll take longer than 5 years. Additionally, I think there's going to be some pushback against the cloud eventually. I think it's going to kind of be like offshore eventually, where people go, oh, actually, we want to have that onshore now. But yeah, no, Azure AWS, yeah, it's good to at least have all that knowledge and take on some of the responsibilities at work so you can say, see, this is what I'm doing. Ooh, a diadem, nice. That's what we like. Thanks, Cheese. No, I haven't died with her since she's leveled to 98 actually, so knock on wood. So anything that looks like it is not true. So I said, you never have consistent same 8 players. I mean, we try to. We try to have the same 8 players, but you know, it's hard to get 8 people together, right? I think that's the difficulty. God, Accenture. Oh. Stupid Accenture. You're not an expert. Can you join an 8-player run someday? Probably like a base one. The ones that we're doing for those world record runs, we're really trying to keep at like experts just because it's very intense. But I'll have some, you know, where I'm just like doing them with viewers. Those are the ones. 13 ED, 4 decks, 19 cold res. Me. Yeah, they are the worst, the Settler. They are the absolute worst. Go do a TCS? No, just Accenture. Why hoard the jewels for crafting later? Is the 8-player run still going? I haven't been doing them like monthly or weekly. Your whole old company outsourced the whole IT to Accenture? Yeah, I'm sure that they suck now. I'm sure the company is struggling on that. Working on Rap 2.0. Timmy Town. Oh my god, I love it. Every year we have a new consultant who tells us we suck. Man. Everybody lost stuff to Accenture, and then of course they realized like very shortly that Accenture's garbage. But they're so cheap on paper that anybody outside of IT won't give it up. Like that's the big issue. Is the company, you know, you look on paper and they go, "Oh wow. How amazing. It cost us 1/10 of the price to have this person or 1/6 of the price. So we can get 6 employees to 1 if we just use Accenture." And so they all sign off on it, and then we have to deal with fixing everything that they're breaking, and the turnover there is just horrible, and it's just so awful. Conqueror Crown and Aspired Helm. You heard TCS did some no point stuff, so you're canning them, and then you move on to the next one. Why not take their spots and make things better? What do you mean? Like, we had to work in conjunction with them. So, like, I was a DBA, and we have, you know, whatever, thousands of servers. 3,000 database servers or something. Whatever number, I'm not gonna be too close for different reasons, but you know, thousands of servers, and so you know, they keep 4 of us, 5 of us, can the rest, and then hire 30 Accenture DBAs offshore, but none of them know how to do anything. And then literally they all jump ship and just go like next door immediately anyways. Within a day, you'll see or within like a month, you'll see at least 3-4 people turn over. And there's some contractors that we have from Accenture that are good, but hey, Vixing, thank you. Oops. I wonder if I want to keep tiaras or if I just want to keep diadems. I work at a big company, so there's a lot of people. I keep diadems for re-rolling purposes because the base level of a diadem, when you re-roll, can never, like, it will always have the ability to get all the
Thousands
rolls
of
that you
servers,
want.
that sounds crazy. I've never seen that many in one place. One time I was in front of like 115 servers.
Nice.
Was cool. Tennis tournament in Australia. I think Pete Sampras is my all-time favorite server.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Yeah, so they're all of those things are good for rerolls and for the first checks and stuff, but when you reroll with perfect skulls, you're going to be losing, like, the level of the item is going to drop, and so if you're rerolling like circlets with that, you're going to start rolling the levels too low to where you're not going to be able to get the mods that you want on it. But the base level for a diadem, the lowest that it'll go, it's still high enough to get all the rolls that you want. So diadems are the perfect reroll item. What day will we reroll the items? First we have to do our perfect gem shopping. So we can do that sometime. We could do that now if we wanted. But basically we have to go and get all perfect gems from all those flawless that I have. So I need to just farm gem shrines. So we gotta do that, and then we can start re-rolling and crafting and whatnot. Another green C word, man. Killing me. How do you farm gem shrines? You literally run around the Cold Plain, Stony Field, whatever, and farm them. I think Stony Field is the best place for gem shrines because you're gonna get the Shrine of Veneers and gem shrine spawns, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the lowest place, so you're also going to avoid some other like res charm shrines and things like that. I'm trying to farm the 2 items in the bottom left.
I am
You have Pluggy, why not save them when you get one drop? Wait, what? Gosh dang it, Evo. I'm guessing we'll shave. Like I said, I have to get the pack sent to me. It's on its way. Ancient Towns is not the best place for gem shrines. I mean, it's nice that you can run around and do it on your way there. Jmod? Ha! Nope. I could also reroll like a blue monarch to try and get a Jmod, but
Fresh
thank you,
meat.
Slappa. Yeah, it's like 3 to 5 days or something. Mwah! My shaving kit. 255 MF trying for Titans. Good luck. Go get him. That shouldn't take too long, honestly. Subpoena for a paternity suit. Oh, man. Nobody does, Evo. Nobody does. Yeah, it's easy. It's a good game. I'm glad that he was enjoying it. Jeweler's Monarch of Deflection, Tulipian. It's a shield with faster block and hit recover, or not hit recovery. 4 open sockets. Buy a box of 1,000 blades. So you're doing straight razor or whatever. I feel like I would cut my face off. My friend bought a bunch of those blades, and then he came over the next day, and he had cut marks all over his face. Yeah, safety razor, thanks. He was like, still getting used to the safety razor.
I can't carry anymore.
Sad to me asking. God, jeez. Have Kylie learn? I don't know if I want to give Kylie a blade around my face and neck. Especially when she has a Kylie kill emote. Them things are sharp like razors. Yeah, I just use the nice dull razor that I can rub against my face and not cut myself in half. Kylie will be like, "You bring me soup?" Ah! I'm sorry. Who was that girl you were texting the other day? It was my cousin. You know. You find Death's Web? I have 2 Death's Web, 1 Eth and 1 non-Eth. I don't know if Pindle dropped it. I think they both dropped in Ancient Tunnels. Took time to get used to it, but now you don't think about any shave? Yeah, that makes sense.
I get acne from the Gillette 5 million bladed bear claws or whatever number of blades they
5 million sounds right.
are up to now, so I like the single sharp blades.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't shave often enough for things to much matter with it. I shave like once every few weeks maximum. No, jeez. So, if I shaved more, it would make sense, you know? But, like, I don't shave that much. So, when I do, as long as it can clean up my face, works for me. Do we have the Mach 3? I think it's like the Mach 7 now or something. Believe me, Llama, it shows. What? You kidding me? Something like that. I think they're up to at least 5 or 6 blades now.
At what point are razor companies going to give up on the multiple blade thing and just hand you some shaving cream and sandpaper?
You would think soon. Wax my beard? Could be something. At least it's not electric shavers. Fake shaving? Wow. Some serious gatekeeping around your shaving there, Settler. Neckbeards are not hot. Oh, I think the neckbeard's what the girls go for. That's why I make sure mine comes in nice and fluffy. If I need to wax my beard. Interesting, Multier. Yeah, we found another Mars. Who would have thunk it? Real men don't use electric. All res 14, nice. I mean, it's been 2.5 years overall on this character. The last item was Christmas Eve. So, it's been a little bit. Nice, Timo. I mean, it's a great drop chalupian, but I ain't ever using it.
I can't carry anymore.
Favorite area that I don't visit during speedruns? I mean, you run through most of the entire game, so probably ancient tunnels. I love the tunnels, and that's one we don't visit. Except in the 8-man.
Help me!
Man, all this talk about shaving, you boys sure do know how to have a good time. I was really looking forward to shaving. Heard all about it and looked fun.
Yep.
Hey, Llama, do you think they have good razors in heaven? I'll report back.
Thanks, Timmy.
Y'all are pansies. Real men shave with a chunk of obsidian that they broke off a volcano. With their bare hands, and for shaving cream, they use the fat of a Siberian tiger that they killed by staring at it.
There you go.
Carry any-
Now, how do you feel, Sedler? You feel like a real man? Using your razor? Not yet, Azaleos. This camel just killed a tiger just so he could have shaving cream.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy. Wouldn't Ancient Tunnels be good for it instead of Beetle Burst? Nah, because it's so long to get in there, and then still the boss groups are very few and far between. It's not for certain bosses in normal. Was 8-man world record? No, we were about 2 to 3 minutes over. We didn't end up finishing because it was really, really trash in that throne room, but we also got really bad luck with all that Worldstone throne stuff. The bow, it's Harmony bow, so I can run faster with vigor.
Not here.
Mod wall. Man that can grow beard and don't tree well is wasting a great asset. I'll look up here something magical. I feel like I can grow a magical beard, you know? Like, my beard is okay. It's better than, like, you know, the chinny stragglers and the pencil mustache dudes and stuff, but it's not like I'm wasting a fantastic beard by any means. Yeah, like Ragged's husband has that stupid patchy beard, exactly. Jeez. Man. Stud leather, not quite. It happens, peacocks. Why is Mangsong so insanely rare? Ask Brevik and the Schaefers, man. Whoever designed the drop odds in this dang game. Because they are nuts. Is it the rarest item in the game? One of. For, you know, uniques. But, like, this is the rarest unique in the game. At about 1 in, with my magic find, probably 300 something thousand. And then this is about 1 in 2.2 million. This is the actual rarest unique if you're taking into account ethereal. So. Ah! White? For real? A Hydra bow and an Archon staff right next to each other. Oh. Just that drop alone is like 1 in probably about 1,600 from Pindle. $1,800. Gosh, dang it. We dropped the staff and it was white. How much would it cost to buy back a Tears mattress? Not even gonna sell it. My Meng song. Law of averages? Well, no. Now we have to wait another 1,800 runs before we get another Archon staff to try. Brutal, man. Why did it have to be white? Not even a cool one. Not even a cool one. Like a rare or a set. Just boring and white. That is true, Morse. That is true. Charles Imbue always makes a rare, correct. There is not a set Archon staff. When I say a set drop, I mean a double durability magic drop. Sorry. A failed set drop.
I am overburdened.
When the last two items are found, we have a giant party. That's what happens. Kanai's cube would be useful right now. We move on to Diablo 3. And we do the Diablo 3 Holy Grail. And then after 3 days, when we've found all those items, we move on to something else. What's total plus run speed right now? 25, but then I have this vigor, so it's hard to exactly calculate run speed with it all because they stack differently. IRL Holy Grail. That's called a hoarder. D1 Holy Grail wouldn't be that bad either. Holy Grail Diablo 3 speedrun? Possible. Meeting XL Holy Grail? Could be rough. Be fun though. I don't know. I don't actually know the odds of stuff there. I think it'd be fun to do a PoE one. Level 10 is plus 36 to walk run? Okay. So I have plus 36. Starcraft Holy Grail. Wait, no. That's right. Anyway, I can improve my gear. In my current state, not really. Slightly more MF charms. A 40 MF ring. A couple things like that I could. Primal Grail in Diablo 3, that'd probably be the way you have to do it. Primal Ancient is 1 in 100. So a lot of minor perfections, but my gear is pretty topped out of where it should be. And even a lot of my gear is pretty well maxed.
I am overburdened.
So I've got perfect chances, 50 war travs, 35 8 spirit. My death fathom is a 28%, so that's pretty close. I have a perfect shake, I'm not using it. Should you buy this game? I love this game. Does it get frustrating that there really is a cap in this game compared to D3? No, I think D3 needs more cap stuff. Honestly, the bigger thing is I just wish there was more endgame content. I think that's my biggest thing. But I mean, it's such an old game that, like, you know. I map packed for about a week when I was like 15. And then I got really bored. That was like the end of when I stopped playing, basically. Do you ever hoot like an owl to cheer yourself up? Not to cheer myself up, but I've definitely hooted like an owl before. I was probably hooting like an owl last night at medieval times. Just cheering on my knight. Was the announced project for Diablo and HD remake of D2? No, it's Diablo 4. There might also be an HD remake of D2 in the works, but I think Diablo 4 is where they should focus their time. The tomato soup at medieval times is the bomb. Isn't it? I told Kylie, I was like, Kylie, the tomato soup is one of those things that I get a craving for. You know, when you're sitting there one day and you're like, oh man, I could really use some pho. Or, oh man, I could really use a, you know, sandwich from blah, 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 or a burrito from Chipotle. I sit there sometimes and go, oh man, I could really use the tomato soup from medieval times. It's so good. Best tomato soup I've ever had. And drinking it from the bowl without a spoon just makes it even tastier. Did I go to the medieval times? The one in Dallas. Okay. That's trash. That's trash. Okay. No! Son Son of a gun.
I am overburdened.
Ugh. That's a rare one too. That is a rare, like the Vortex Shield is a rare drop. Gosh dang it. Honestly, is the Vortex Shield the same rarity as a Caduceus? I think it might be. Oh my god. I think Vortex Shield has the same drop rate. If not, it's really close. Vortex is more rare than a Caduceus? Kill me. Man, that sucks. Ugh. That could have been it, man. New Blizzard is having issues with justifying doing things for creative means rather than the money they make from games. Yep, I think that's honestly the best way to put it. New Blizzard is having to do so much. They're so focused from the financial standpoint, business-wise and everything, that it's really hard for them to justify anything creatively because it's so much about the business sense first and the money piece first of it. And so that's causing issues, honestly, in my opinion. It's hard to design a great game when your first thought is money. Wow, I can't believe we found a Gris shield. I'm so mad. How are you, Riverness? Oh, man. Sucks when companies that abuse microtransactions are setting the standard, though. Yeah, I mean, it's because it's most profitable. You gotta vote with your wallets, you know? Like, that's all that companies are gonna listen to. Companies are set up to be profitable. That is it. Like, that is their purpose, really. So, as consumers, the only voice you really have is your spending. What do you think of the Real Money Auction House? I hated it. Great, they made every job worth something and also help Blizzard profit. Nah. The problem with the Real Money Auction House, and just the auction house in general, but especially Real Money Auction House, is that it got rid of the whole point of Diablo. Diablo as a core, the entire point of Diablo is grinding to find items. Literally what I'm doing right now. There's all sorts of other stuff you can do, fun trading, you can go and, you know, kill the bosses and level up in PvP and whatever. But the main point of Diablo 2 is grinding and killing a lot of stuff to get items and build cool characters. That's it. That is the main point of the game. When you take that away and put in a place where people can just go and spend all the money, then that it literally ruins the point of the game. If you can buy everything you need to advance, then the game no longer exists as what the game is intended to be. And you can still, once again, play it in your other small ways here and there. Once again, I like PvP, I like trading, I like speed, whatever. I like different aspects of the game. But in the end, the game is about killing stuff to find gear. How do you feel about loot and trade system that exists in PoE? I still think it's a little bit too accessible. But it's not horrible. It's not as bad as an auction house. And then additionally, PoE isn't all about grinding and killing things. I think PoE has a little bit more auction house, or not auction house, crafting involved, right? Min-maxing and crafting and theory crafting and all of that stuff. And so a lot of the time spent playing PoE isn't always killing stuff and doing things. A lot of times it is simply thinking about a build and figuring out the next step in the build and trying to craft awesome items for it. And so when you don't have as much set stuff,
That moment when you realize
better.
Diablo isn't a game. It's the world's most complicated slot machine.
That's right. It really is. I gotta work 2 hours overtime this week so I can afford my weapon upgrades. You wouldn't believe how many people only play D3 to make farm gold to port it back to D2. Sounds right. Yeah, and that's another thing that I just go, ugh, like, it just, when you have that accessibility to it, it kind of sucks. In my opinion. So auction house was too much there, especially when it was real money. Then you just log on, you put $10 in, $20, and you can just buy yourself a character that can have some basic stuff. Whenever you need an upgrade, you just go to the auction house and GG. So auction house was a horrible. It also encourages botting for sure. It was a horrible addition. And that is the exact reason that I actually never got into Diablo 3. When they announced Diablo 3, I was super pumped. And then when they announced the real money auction house, I said, this isn't going to be good. Like, I knew at that exact moment that Diablo 3 was not going to be a great game that I would want to play. Because that was it. The people that made the decision to put Diablo 3 into, or put a real money auction house into Diablo 3, like, they clearly did not know enough about Diablo to make the game well enough, in my opinion. Because if you played Diablo 2 for 10,000 hours, 15,000 hours like I have, you would know automatically that it's not, that is like one of the worst things that you can do. So that to me told me like the people that designed this game didn't even play Diablo 2. And if they did, they played it for not very much. I think the graphics in D3 are decent. I wish it was a little darker, but I think graphic-wise it's all right. I think thematically they could adjust it to be a little bit darker. I think that's the issue. I don't like everything being so bright and colorful. It doesn't look horrible by any means. Diablo Immortal, you got mobile, yeah. So that's great for something. Diablo 2 graphics have aged so well, though. Yeah, I mean, this game is 19 years old. Did I get a tick? No. This game is 19 years old. And while the graphics are still, you know, it's 800 by 600 and everything like that, look at how beautiful it is. Just from a theme standpoint, once again, from a color palette. If you look at the color palette of Diablo 2, I think that's where you can really find a lot of beauty.
Overburdened.
Rare Thundermaw. You know, like, let's look around. Look at the beautiful colors that you just get, and the nice colors there. And then even, you know, Act 2's got its great palette as well. Act 3, you're kind of back to that jungle-y look. And then you've got some of that gray, you know, so you're seeing some commons. Then you're going into hell, and now you have this really nice, these nice, beautiful reds, and then even the lava, I think, is really cool. And then Act 5, you start introducing some more of these, like, browns, and you get into the iciness of it. Like, it's just got a lot of really good look to it. Hopefully, Sunny. So it's just, you know, you're not running into these bright pinks and, you know, shiny greens and yellows and all of this stuff flashing all over the place, right? Wow, that load time. That was from running around different zones. Except in items. Yeah, but even then, it's not like it's flooding the screen with it, right? It's like, that's when I press Alt. And I like those being those colors, so they stand out. Hard to pick favorite game, Half-Life or Diablo 2. I've never played Half-Life. Like, yeah, like this is a horribly ugly color. Both of these are horribly ugly colors. If they were always on my screen, or they were like spells, you know, things like that all over the place, right? Wouldn't be a good look for the game. Or they were, you know, wall colors and stuff. But by having that as items, it's very good because you know when you see that green, like that the only thing you're gonna see is that item in that color. Right, they're supposed to be ugly so you see them, and that's why I'm not mad about it. I love it. I love that the colors are, you know, like that. Have you tried speedrunning some of the early versions of G2? I've done some classic speedruns. I haven't done any early versions, though. The whole skill tree system is better. Yeah, that's that's a separate, you know, discussion right there for sure. But like, yeah, I don't like the Diablo 3. You just kind of get every skill thing. I much prefer the way D2 does it because, like, yeah, you are building a character, and you are limiting yourself and having to make choices, and I much prefer the making choices. Hey, nice little spike thorn action there. And then the you have all skills, because then it just doesn't feel like you're customizing a character in any way, really.
Fresh meat.
2 months
Thank you,
of
Barb.
pure gold. Keep the good work and find those 2 last items.
D3 skill system makes sense as it's entirely gear based. Yeah, it does. But I hate that it's entirely gear based. I think that's the point for me. I think that's really silly. And the way that it exponentially scales is the bigger issue. Right. Like, I was in a boss fight in a rift, and I was about to kill the boss, and my boots broke. And all of a sudden, I couldn't damage the boss anymore. Literally, I went from killing the boss and doing decent damage to him to my boots breaking, and now my elemental sorceress no longer can do damage because I lost like 400% of my damage before the exponential scaling of it or whatever. So I was like, you know, I was doing like 1 billion less damage or something from a loss of boots. That was a big no-no from me. Right now I'm running 874 MF for this. Never did next wish. I should one day. I have not done anything with Grim Dawn. I hear it's good though. Yeah, I mean they could definitely. They'd have to go to work on it a little more than changing a couple coefficients, but they could adjust it. But I think at this point they're just like, it is what it is. I had 680 MF for my ancient tunnel runs, but for Pindle I run less damage, less FCR, and more MF. MXL did the same thing. They scaled it back. Yeah. True. What would be my goal after finding those 2 items? I'll probably start making some other characters. A poison necro, you know, a werewolf druid, things like that. Pindle is worth 2 elites, basically. The Haragoth theme to YouTube and put it on repeat. You know that Holy Grail might never happen? We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna force this dang thing. Even if it means one day, 1 week, we do 60 hours of Grail. We're gonna get there. I'd honestly want them to make a Dark Souls slash Witcher 3 view. I think honestly that, you know, third person standing behind view, it would be fantastic and be really interesting for the game. I think that could be a cool step. They could make a Diablo 4 and keep the same style like this, you know, but I think honestly something that would be really interesting is making really great fights. D2 plus Dark Souls plus Witcher 3 equals Diablo 4. I think that would be my Diablo 4 desire, honestly. So once again, it would be getting away from how they've done Diablos in the past, you know. Getting away from this look right here. But they could do a lot more, you know, a lot of really interesting stuff with bosses and that way and stuff. I don't know. I always thought that would make a good Diablo 4. Any thoughts on first person like Elder Scrolls? Nah, I wouldn't want that. Diablo Immortal is not Diablo 4. Diablo Immortal is the little teaser junk that they threw in midway between to try and satisfy us, but unfortunately they presented a mobile game to a PC audience. So, floundered. Resident Evil point of view? Yeah, that one. Not that I played that. It's a full-fledged Diablo experience, didn't I hear them? Yeah, okay. It's an outsourced mobile, you know, money grab, like. It is what it is.
Join my army of the dead.
Diablo 4 sponsored by Microsoft, now exclusively on the Windows Phone.
Oh boy.
I can't carry anymore.
Don't do it. They might have decided to make D4 because of the talks of people who want it. Hopefully because there's a large demand, but also because it's a game that deserves to be made and could do really well. No run stats today? Oh yeah, I forgot to put run stats up. Oops. Any reason to go Mephisto over Pindle? No. If you don't care about those level 85 items and you want to find some other things, run Mephisto. Like, Mephisto's way better for Viper Magi and Oculus and Shaco and all those items. Much, much, much better. You're going to get way more drops out of him. But he's not going to be able to drop, you know, Mang Song, Griswold's Redemption, stuff like that. I should list White Archon Staff. Honestly, that's true. White Archon Staff. Just saying it. Do you have a schedule of when I play Median? Nah, my schedule is pretty set for the times that I stream, but what I stream during every day is usually pretty random. A lot of it depends on how I'm feeling. Because I work a job as well, so some days I get home and I'm just like super exhausted. Or like today, we only had like a couple hours after the 8-man speedrun. So I'll probably do Magic Find Monday tomorrow. I work in IT. A Hell speed run on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I gotta think. I might do Median one of those 2 days. TBD. I do work from home. Still doesn't mean I can't get tired from work. Still plenty of exhausting work time. I'm gonna have to do some work tonight after the Super Bowl, honestly. I'll probably come home and work for 3 hours late. When's the next race? Not sure. Not sure. Am I still programming? Yeah. You think the internet's quick to hate everything nowadays, though? Yeah, I mean, that's a problem in its own right. I mean, there's definitely some game companies that deserve the hate just because they're trying to sell out really quickly just to make a quick buck. But at the same time, like, yeah, there's a big incentive to be the first person to hate on something, or the first person to love on something, or, you know, the first person to be an extreme. The more extreme you are on the internet, the more, you know, people that will watch you, essentially, right? It's just like clickbait titles. If I title my video Diablo 2 Holy Grail Source, you know, maybe 5,000 people watch on YouTube. If I title it Diablo 2, you will not believe what I just found today, craziest find of the year, 15,000 people are gonna watch it. Like, literally just from doing that. If a person tweets out, yeah, you know, didn't really enjoy Diablo that much, Diablo 3, people aren't gonna care. But when someone tweets out, Diablo 3 is the spawn of pure evil known as Blizzard Activision, no longer Diablo, people are gonna tweet that out and jump on the hate train for that. And so everything just becomes literally that stuff.
10 amazing items in Diablo 2. The last one will shock you.
Right, exactly. And so, you know, everybody's so concerned about getting more likes and getting more views and getting more everything that nobody wants to just be rational and have a real voice anymore. They just want to do whatever it takes to get those clicks and those likes and those followers. But, you know, like I say, at the same time, I do think gaming it's become too big now. And so now that there is all this money in it, that's now become the focus for a lot of companies. 100% agree. It's always been about profits, but now it's about profits in a different way, you know. They've kind of realized they don't need to put out as good of a game for profits.
I love the MF Sorc. Keep up the good work.
Mwah. Thank you. I think that's the difference. Thank you, Atius. Before, if you wanted profits, you had to put out a good game. Now, you can milk it. You can take advantage of children with gambling or just gambling addicts in general. You can microtransact the heck out of stuff, hunt for whales, whatever. You know, like it's the difference in monetization has changed greatly. And I think that's the big shift. But hey, everything is shifting that way. Heck, even highways. In Dallas, they added all these express lanes. That's not bad. To the highways where you can fly by and drive, you know, whatever. Avoid all the traffic. But they cost money to ride them. And I think it's scaling with how busy traffic is as well, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. That might have been in discussion and didn't happen, but I believe it scales up. So the more traffic there is, the more expensive the roads are. The avoid traffic roads are.
I am overburdened.
It does scale with traffic? Okay, yeah. So, you know. Was the road partially funded by taxpayers or only private money? Taxpayer money built the roads. And then they claim that part of those
Oh, don't me
go
started
towards
on the
it.
toll lanes. I love the concept of paying my taxes to build and maintain a road, then paying for the privilege of driving on it.
Right. And like no longer, like maybe the express lanes are still owned. I'm not sure who owns those exactly, but like the roads, the toll roads that we have, because that was the initial thing. They said, hey, we need more roads in Dallas, right? So we're going to build these toll roads ahead of schedule. We're going to put tolls on them, and then, you know, the taxpayers will pay for the roads basically in advance. That way we can get the roads up faster because we don't have enough money in the budget for it. So they did that, and now the roads have been funded and paid for, and the tolls never went away. They just stay there and then keep increasing. And then additionally, they sold off the tolls to, I think, a company in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. So I think a company in Brazil bought the toll roads from the Dallas, the Texas government or whatever. And so it's just like a profitable, you know, they paid them however much at the time, and they just keep it on because, well, now it's a profitable venture as opposed to us paying for it. And, you know, and that's kind of trashy. Like, yeah, stop making us pay the toll when it's funded. That would be how it should go. But that's not how it goes. And so, like I say, you know, that's just the toll roads kind of suck. How are tolls enforced? License plate. You can either have a toll tag, or you, if you drive under, they'll take a picture of your license plate and send you a bill in the mail. And as long as they continue to develop roads, they just never stop developing, even areas where it wasn't needed. Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna do it that way, right? Always gonna be a loophole. 874 is MF on kill right now. And a system where the government guarantees a certain yearly usage lower limit. Wow. Interesting nervousness. Yeah, I thought it was just so he drove to Florida. Tolls there are actually crazy.
Fresh meat.
Go Laro! What do I think of the no call? I mean, I think the NFL wanted the Rams in the Super Bowl based on that no call, personally. I think it would make them millions and millions, tens, hundreds of $1,000,000 more to have an LA team than a New Orleans team. At the same time, I'm still going to be cheering the Rams because I really just don't want to see the Patriots win another one. But I don't care enough, you know, like, it's like last year. Eagles and Patriots, like my two least favorite teams in the league. So this year I would have been more excited to cheer if I didn't feel like the Rams got there on a horrible call. But still got to cheer them over the Patriots. A lot of people don't want the Patriots to win, it seems. Yeah, just tired of it, you know. It's just annoying to see them waltz their way there every single year. I'm less upset about the Patriots and more just like, why aren't other coaches in the league, you know, as good as Belichick? Especially like my Cowboys. Their coaches suck. There's so many. Nobody makes great, like, there's so few coaches that make good adjustments and actually like read the rules super well to where they're doing all these like great streams and or great like, you know, coming up with great plays and stuff. There's so much just boring play calling and terrible play calling, honestly. 4th and 1 or 4th and goal on the 1 yard line, kicking a field goal. There's 0 out of 0 times. Or 0 out of 1,000,000 times do the statistics say you should kick a field goal there. Yet you'll see so many coaches do it. That's it. So, you know, when they're not even, it's like going to a table and playing blackjack with people and then watching them not even play basic strategy, but they're trying to like come up with all these sneaky things to do, right? They're like, I'm going to split my 4s here. You're like, why would you split your 4s? And they're like, I got a plan. What are you talking about? You never split the 4s here. When the dealer's showing a 10. What is wrong with you? And then, you know, like, maybe one time, you know, they hit a 7 on one of the hands, and they're like, look at that. Told you to split 4s.
I can't carry anymore.
So, that sort of stuff, right? I feel like that's how it is. Like, if you're a coach in the NFL and you're not playing by optimal analytic strategy, such as 4th and goal on the 4-yard line, once again, is with probably 99 out of 100 times go for the touchdown. But about 98 times, the coaches will kick field goals. Like, if you're not even playing optimal strategy, just stop, right? Gotta get to the basics first. Unless your offense sucks, even then, I think you still are supposed to go for the touchdown. Unless they're like horrible, but they somehow got to the 5-yard line.
Fresh
Thank you,
meat.
Jax. Mwah. Like, less than 50% of the time that needs to work for it to be profitable. Plus, you have a good chance of just pinning them anyways, which can lead to a future touchdown. Can you improve your players by grinding for gear? For sure. Player 3 still optimal? For like Mephisto and those guys, yeah. Camel. I'll go with you. When there's 30 seconds left and you go to kneel at halftime even though you're down. I mean, there can be times of it. This chat's become way too sporty. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Like, let us have sports one day. If you're counting, not quite, Kohler. But like, the thing is, let's say you have to play blackjack, right? Like, you're forced to play 1,000 hands of blackjack. You're going to play optimal EV or optimal strategy. And this is the thing. Maybe the, like, you can say card counting and you know, odds adjustments based on your bets and all of that stuff is the advanced stuff that some of these coaches are kind of trying to do, but they're not even playing basic strategy. You know, that's the problem. They're trying to count cards, but they're splitting their 4s against a dealer 10. So, I'm at 19. 19 what? So it's kind of those, you got to go back to the basics because you're losing all your edge. How many decks? This 6 deck. Oh, I gotcha. Blackjack. Right. Or they're, you know, they're sitting on a 14 against a dealer 10. And they don't want to hit because they don't want to bust. That's the best example of the 4th and goal right there. They won't play optimal strategy because they'd rather just play it safe than bust, and people go, oh, well, he busted. No, that's just why platform strategy if the officials are just gonna be calling the game anyways. I mean, that's a fair other point you can make. But I feel like you can honestly even game that, right? I honestly feel like there's a lot to be said for that.
5-4 versus dealer face.
Stay.
Stay hashtag I believe.
I'm gonna stay. So, you know. I feel like you could even game that though. Like third down long bombs honestly aren't horrible ideas, right? Because one, pass interference is a great thing to help you out. Two, and there's plenty of calls there, and pass interference is almost too strong right now in the game with the spot foul. Two, if they intercept it, it's basically just a punt anyways. So the big risk there, of course, is like a sack knocking you back. But, you know, if you're just going to punt it that next down anyways, it's not that big of a deal. So I feel like that's probably underutilized in the NFL a little bit. When am I going to do speedruns? Not today, because we got Super Bowl party actually really soon. Can someone go to Kylie's stream and tell her 10-minute warning? But honestly, like, I wouldn't make those determinations. I would run all that stuff through the analytics. You know, like, it's not for me to, I think that's for coaches. They get too much caught up in, this is how I coach. It's like, yeah, but the machine is smarter than you. Just like the machine will always beat you in chess. Yum, Ken Meister. And it won't even be close. So we just need to money ball football. That's all. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I thought it was cool stuff, Sagittarius. Machine won't win at tic-tac-toe? No, but it'll tie every single time. Which is the best result you can get. You're still impressed at how good machines are at Go now and they used to be so bad? Yeah, DeepMind kind of blew that stuff up. Is Bill Belichick a robot? I think he uses robot stuff to help him out. Like, he's the one of the only coaches that I've heard about recently that, like, bends the rules in every possible way that he can until they have to force stuff. Like, when he was doing stuff with all the, like, ineligible players, he was confusing so many defenses. There was literally an entire year where he beat so many defenses purely by just non-stop abusing it. Like, this player is now eligible, this player is not, like, they you know, the way they'd have to call it out was super confused. Like, the defenses wouldn't always know, and so he would just have all these guys on the line run off and they'd be eligible receivers, but the defense wouldn't have realized it, and easy touchdowns, easy first downs. And it wasn't until the next year that they were like, okay, well, we're gonna change that now and fix it. Like, why aren't other coaches doing that stuff? That's the question. I'll be going for Rams, but I really don't care. I think Pats have the edge. What does Vegas say? They're usually pretty right about who has the edge. They're usually pretty right. Looks like they give the edge to the Rams, actually. Pats by 2.5? Alright, ESPN has the Rams. I was hoping for not Pats versus not Pats. Yeah, essentially that's all I'm looking for anyways. I think it should be a good game, hopefully. We'll see what happens. I mean, Anderson and Gurley, super strong. But, you know, the problem is they're not going to get enough pressure. And they have a great, like, defensive line, too, you know? But I just don't know if they're going to get enough pressure on Brady. I think they might be able to hold the run down some, which will be important. So, you know, Michelle's not going to have as great of a game as he did against the Chiefs or whatever. But I'm definitely worried. You know, I still am not sure they're going to get the pass rush that they need. Gurley, Michelle. That's right. Do I think Gurley has a lingering injury they aren't talking about? Yeah, potentially. They like to kind of hide that stuff when they can. I mean, they're not supposed to, but, you know. They like half hide it. Soccer has solid rules after years upon years of iteration. I'm just happy they added in the goal line technology stuff. Brady will die via Donald, do you think so? Hockey's the worst for that, yeah. Hockey dudes are always beat up though, like everybody's always broken in hockey. I don't know about that one, Wicked. How much experience have I gained on the stream? Not a lot. I don't get much experience here at all. This is item grind more. Chelsea. 37. Why did I pick up gold still? Because I like to do a little bit of gambling at some points. So.
I am overburdened. I can't.
Wow, Gecko. 3 COA and 2 death webs, but no Hotspurs? That's crazy. Yeah, I'll do chaos runs at that point, see. Gambling for crafting. No, you can't gamble Archon staffs. Just gambling for crafting and gambling for like 40 MF rings and stuff. No, not at all Wicked, but I'm just saying I don't think you need to introduce drugs as well into it, you know. Like, the NFL is definitely appeasing that Coliseum vibe that we had a long time ago, you know? People like watching hits. They like watching violence. It just seems to be a natural thing going back all, you know, in our roots. a lot of people enjoy watching that. So, of course, they're going to have to toe that line, and it's a weird one because, like, yeah, we want to care about safety, but the people also want people to get violent. So it's, you know, it's much more so in U.S. sports, yeah, a little more. But hey, I mean, even things like rugby and stuff, you know, you can go all around the world and still get a lot of heavy hitting and stuff. It's just, yeah. So, I think the problem is if you start adding drugs into the mix as well, it's just like another layer of it, right? How much are we going to destroy these bodies? And you're forcing people at that point, if you want to compete, not only do you know, you can't do it without drugs anymore. It's like steroids, right? Like, right. Kids are going to start doing it because they need to get a leg up. The earlier you get those advancements, the better chance, blah, blah, blah. Rugby, they don't hit head quite as much as in US football. Used to before when they found out about the brain damage it was doing. Yeah. You just can't take the... Football as a game is designed very poorly. It's like... There's just no good way to do it. Because you literally line up a bunch of dudes... And it's not the big hits that cause all the brain damage, it's all the small ones, right? The guys lining up in the lines and just smashing heads every single play. So, the sport overall is just unsafe and not great, and there's not a great way to really correct it. And you know, you can take away the pads, but you're still going to have a bunch of dudes that line up like this and immediately just smash every single play. So it's just tough. They smash a lot. Oh, Gris shield and a white Archon staff. What a brutal day. What a brutal day.
Reveal your greatest secret.
The
ancient Keyblade legacy that slumbers within you. Huh?
How does it...
What about rugby then? It's a little safer.
What? That's crazy. These cutscenes are really long.
Because you're not lining up and fighting like that exactly.
Well,
right?
hot dang! How do I save? Yeah, I know. I need to go. Alex, shut up. I know. I don't want to. I can't go yet because I have to do my little sponsorship thing, and then I'll go. How do I save? Yeah, freaking Zimnus's voice is like. It's amazing.
Gris Redemption's so good. I just want it. I just want it. That's all. When do you use shrines? When you're going to start crafting gear later on. So when you start finding like sacred bases that you would want to be crafting into gear, that's when you're generally going to start crafting. So I started crafting around 115 to 120. Soul ring. Dun, 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 exclamation mark MF gear. Should show you my gear. As for my build, it's Blizzard and then Fireball. Bum bum. Dun 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 dun. Cha 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 cha. Ba da da. Boom boom. Oh no, I forgot to reset it from the other day, Spinder. Oh god! Who hit me? My Merce died?
Good day. Afternoon.
You can't farm Cabraxis with the 200 barb. Gosh darn it. It's kind of worth it to the double reload time. Yeah, roughly. Roughly worth it. I gotta figure out some gear upgrades for my barb. I think at this point I need to respec and adjust that build more. And I need to maybe craft some new boots. Boots, belt.
I am over.
Superior Colossus sword. I want it. Let's see if I can trash stuff to make room for it. Necro. 10 ED, 3 max. And let's get rid of that one. I want to look at that blade. Ooh. Oh. Darn it.
How may I be of help?
I was hoping for 15 ED. You should check out the videos from Mary on the forums. She does every boss. Okay. Was hoping for a better weapon there than 2 AR Max Dura. What do I need soul for? It'll be good for crafting stuff.
I can't carry anymore.
Some blood stuff. My Infinity rolled 320. Killing it. I'll create the Za at the end if we don't find it.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, it's a really nice roll. Really nice roll. I need an Andes already. It's really annoying. Wasn't that bad. Free range organic Zods only. Rip. Yeah. Yes. Any chance to gamble the remaining items? Nope. The only item I believe I could have gambled was Schaefer's hammer. But I mean, the odds were obviously ridiculous. So. Nothing great there. Unfortunately. So it's just a finder, honestly. Can't gamble Ming Song. 1 in 2,000 isn't worse than 1 in however many. Well, the problem is it's not 1 in 2,000, right? Because you need the base to also roll. So, what will this... Is this a spike shield? Is this a blade barrier? Right? You don't know what it's going to roll. And so the base rolling to be the highest base is really low. And then you have to roll it for the 1 in 2,000. And then with Schaefer's hammer, because it's an 80% chance, that means you'd have to, you know, only 20% of the time when you roll it that. So it's like 1 in what, 10,000? Once you get the base upgrade, so it's pretty bad. Dang, C. Jake. So jealous. So jealous. Feel like you have memory of gambling a Mars before. I've gambled a crescent moon on this character. I think maybe an Atma's as well. And definitely a couple set ones, like a, you know, Cathins and something else. But that's the best there. For 200 barb, I need a crafted one hand for... But how do you craft this? Any shrine on a barb only weapon cut. So just be very careful. It's very hard to craft. Additionally, you can craft it with just doing magic upgrades to it, right? So you can just keep restoring it and then doing the upgrade to magic to try and get it. Restore and back. So if you don't want to use the shrines, you can just re-roll the magic items. Because a lot of times, like, you know, maybe you want to save the shrine for better crafting of a weapon or something. Hard part's getting a base, though. You would use an imbue. I didn't find it that hard to get a base. Didn't take that long. I'd save my imbue for like a sacred, awesome two-hander or whatever. The Labrys axe, you know. Something like that. Harmony's the bow. Yeah, imbue a sacred labrys for sure. Would I switch to a 50 MF Ami if I found one? Probably. I'd have to do the math on it all. Does one-handed barbacks? Oh, you want a two-handed barback. You want to find a labrys for your two-handed axe. And you want it to be sacred. If you're talking about the one-handed barbed weapon for Mark of the Wild, then... Oh, or... whatever, then, yeah. Probably doesn't need to be sacred, but... I'd get a sacred one. I don't really know exactly for that. Not enough knowledge there. Did you do much low level dueling ever? No, not really. Not a ton. Not a ton. Gosh dang it, Evo. Yep. My MF is pretty capped. Adjustments to MF aren't really that big of a deal right now. It's mostly all about speed at this point. Like, to increase my effective MF count, it would take a lot of MF to even go up at one point. Yeah, the diminishing returns are very, very rough. So it's honestly at the point where, like, I should probably replace my war travs with like 40 faster run walk boots or something.
I can't carry anymore.
Take off 50 MF. Just so I can speed up 15% more, you know? Or make some other shift for more MF or more run walk. Maybe just even making it in charms. I could add 15% faster run walk for what, 35% MF just from charms alone. Just to run faster. The problem is, whenever I drop that rare Archon staff, if I'm running less than ideal MF, I just feel bad, you know? Just makes me wonder, if I just did it, would I? So that's the big issue. There we go. We need the just go for it. You know it's not rational. We did not tick in the experience bar. No way off Pindle. Nope. There's no tick. Why are you guys saying tick party? Look at the bar. That's no tick. I mean, Magic Find is good beyond 200 for sure. Like, enhance. Hold up, we can actually figure this out. Let me go to my downloads. Where did I put the D2 stats? D2 stats. No, D2 info. Run as admin. It'll tell us how long until next tick. Oh wow, we can actually get a tick right now. All right, let's go get a tick. Y'all ready for this? Dun 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 dun. It's tick party time. Ba, 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 ba. Are y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Hey! Hey! Down, down. This is a guaranteed tick for us coming up right here. And it's gonna come from none other than the man himself. I still have this bow. I was like, what's wrong here? What's wrong with this picture? Guaranteed loss of a few ticks. That's right. Kept that bow, it might have been. None other than Diablo himself. When I say pixel, you say tick. Pixel! Pixel! Got a chat. There you go. Little mesh belt action there. Come on. Grand Charm. Wow. Let's get a perfect. Let's go. 34-11. And tick party. Tick party. Tick. Tick. Wait, do we not tick? Oh my god. We didn't tick. Hold on. It's coming. We're 700 experience away. Tick! There you go. Refund. Take me up inside. Take me up inside. Come on in and save me from the tick. Take me up. Can't
I am
take
overburdened.
Do 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 do. Sha-ba-ba-ba-ba. Hey. Get him. Another materials incoming. I would settle for less than that. How about just like a Meg song? Even a Gris caddy. You know what? I'll even settle for a Gris caddy. Just in case there's cold immunes in here, like there are. Right there. careful. We are 2.4 million experience away from the next tick. Last death was sometime at 97. Yo, poor goals are. Ah, he's alright. He's doing great. Never felt better. Dun, 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 dun. Hey. Oh, she's gonna come? Okay. Okay, come over. Okay, see you in a sec. Bye. Okay, booties. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna go to a Super Bowl party now. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you're watching the game, then go whatever team you want. If you're not, then enjoy the other things. Meantime, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. !mark schedule, !mark podcast, and !mark no new items. GG everybody. Mwah. Kisses for y'all. Have a great one. I will see you later.